you feel like everything's been resolved?
Yeah. They told y'all that, right?
Well, yeah, but we didn't hear it from you.
Obviously, they can't go and tell y'all something I ain't say.
You feel like you get the same joy right now that we used to seeing from you?
No.
Why not?
What can be done to get it back?
We'll see.
The Ja Morant drama just hit another level. People were already debating whether trading Ja was too extreme even after all his wild comments. But now, that idea is starting to sound way more real. Just recently, Ja got suspended by the Grizzlies for conduct detrimental to the team, which basically means he checked out mid-game, got called out for it, then went off on reporters like it was their fault. Now, okay, emotions can run high when you're clashing with your coach in the middle of a heated game, but here's the crazy part. A full 2 days later, after plenty of time to chill, Ja decides to make things even worse with another reckless comment. Like, bro, how do you make it messier after you already got benched?
What went wrong for you today?
Go ask the coaching staff.
Do you feel like, there was anything you could do differently like this?
You go ask them. They had a whole spiel in here, so.
From the outside, and the outside may be wrong, but from the outside, it didn't look like you had your usual energy tonight.
Go ask the coaching staff why.
Okay. You feel like you should play more?
Go ask the coaching staff. Should I play more right now?
What could have been done? What could have been done different? Get a different outcome other than asking the coaching staff.
According to them, probably don't play me. Honestly, that's what basically the message was. So it's cool.
The coaching staff message was
It's
that?
cool. Man.
At the center of this storm is the team's new coach, Tomas Iso, the man who looked Ja straight in the eye and called him out. And now we've got a clear idea of what went down between them. Tomas isn't just any coach. He's a European basketball mastermind who built his rep fast overseas. This dude took teams nobody believed in and turned them into powerhouses. Back in Germany, he took a squad sitting at 13th place and within 2 years won the Champions League of basketball. That's insane. So what makes ISO so special? He keeps it real. Look, X's and O's are great, he says, but the secret to coaching is understanding people.
Yeah, for sure. We all might need inhalers.
Why you say that? What are y'all doing to lead you?
You know what you need an inhaler for?
Yeah.
I tell you everything you need to know then. What we doing out there?
He's the type who knows being a great coach isn't just about drawing up fancy plays. It's about knowing how to deal with strong personalities, big egos, and players who think they run the show. And man, that's exactly what he's dealing with right now. People like Ja Morant are built different, but not always in a good way. Remember when Ja straight up quit on his team against the Lakers? During timeouts, he was sitting off to the side, sulking like a kid who just got told no, except this kid's making $40 million a year. That's wild and completely unacceptable. Now, the crazy part is this. Coach Tomas Iso gave an interview earlier this year that shows exactly how he handles moments like that, right in front of the whole team. When someone asked him what he'd do if a player acted out, he said calmly, "Yeah, what's the worst that can happen?" That's his mindset. He's not scared to call someone out, even a star.
You know, you can have the elephant in the room. Everybody knows one of the guys is an or he doesn't do what's supposed to. Yeah. But then you go to the locker room, the coach's room after the practice, and you're like, he never does this. He never does that, and he doesn't do this, and we about like every coach does it. And I said, I need to evolve. How can he ever change if I don't bring the thing up? You know? Then we started doing it in front of the team. It was more like, listen, you're holding us back. You can choose to behave in this way. You're hurting all of us, you know? So you're not responsible to me. I'm just telling you that this is how the other guys feel about you. So you can go ahead being an okay? But everybody here knows it. And we just tackled everything head on, you know? We started okay, let's just be brutally honest. What's the worst thing that can happen?
To be fair, Iso explained that most players eventually realize when they're being selfish, and 9 times out of 10, it actually works. After he started doing that, his teams won about 80% of their games. Why? Because the real pros, the ones who care more about winning than attention, check their egos fast. But the real risk? When a player decides to turn against you, and that's exactly what we just saw happen between Ja and Iso. So after the suspension, Ja sat out for 1 game against the Raptors. When he came back against Detroit, things started looking better for a minute.
What went wrong for you today?
Go ask the coaching staff.
Do you feel like, there was anything you could do differently, I guess?
You ask them. According to them, probably don't play me, honestly. That's what basically the message was after, so.
The Grizz cut the lead to 3 after a triple J and 1. But then Detroit went right at Ja on defense. Cade hit him with bully ball for a bucket, and on the next possession, Ausar Thompson just straight up ripped the ball from him. 2 plays, back to back, and suddenly, Ja's frustration was written all over his face again. He completely shut the game down, and then made things even worse with what he said next. It was bad, like real bad. Everyone's asking, what does that even mean? The whole moment felt eerily similar to when Jimmy Butler once said his joy for basketball was gone in Miami, and just days later, he was out. That same kind of energy is starting to circle around Ja right now. Some people think Ja's just realizing how far he's fallen. Watching Cade Cunningham, a young guard he used to outshine, cook him on the court probably hit deep. You can see it in his face, that frustration, that sting of pride. But instead of using that as fuel, the supposed face of the franchise is making the situation even worse. It's clear now. The coach called Ja out, and it totally backfired. ISO once said, the biggest risk in coaching is when your star turns on you, because then one of you has to go. And right now, it's looking like that moment has arrived. Does Ja sound like he's bought into the system? Does he look like a team-first guy willing to set his ego aside? Nope. Things are spiraling, not settling. And here's the confusing part. Ja's still putting up numbers. Just the other night, he dropped 28 points, 8 rebounds, and 7 assists, even hitting a game winner against Phoenix. So why is he so angry? Well, Iso made one bold move. He handed Ja the keys to the offense. But there's a twist. Ja's substitution pattern used to look very different, and that change might be what's lighting this fire under him. Back in the day, Ja used to run the floor like a true all-star, playing the entire first and third quarters, taking short breaks only at the start of the second and fourth. He had full control, full rhythm, and total freedom. But Coach Iso came in with a whole new playbook, and not just for the game, but for how his players use their energy. Iso's system is all about short bursts. 5 minutes on, 3 minutes off, repeat. He says it keeps guys fresh and locked in all game long. But Ja, he hates it. He wants to decide when he sits, when he scores, when he runs the show. A few legends in the league, like LeBron or Steph, have earned that kind of control. But Ja's not on that level yet, and the numbers prove it. This season, his shooting from deep has been rough, really rough. We saw a little improvement back in his first All-Star year, but right now, it's hit a new low. He's shooting just 14% from 3, 5 makes out of 36 attempts, with almost as many air balls as buckets. That's not superstar efficiency. That's frustration showing up on the stat sheet. And it doesn't stop there. Out of the 22 players taking as many shots as Ja, he ranks 21st in efficiency, just a notch above Dylan Brooks. The team's offensive numbers tell the same story. With Ja on the court, the Grizzlies' offensive rating is only 106.2, ranking 28th in the league. But when he sits, that rating jumps to 113.7. That's a massive difference. And it's not a good look for the supposed team leader. So of course, Ja's pointing fingers, mainly at Coach Iso. He thinks the problem isn't just the plays being called, but the minutes he's being given. Deep down, Ja feels like his own coach is undercutting him. And that sets up a dangerous situation. Either Ja changes his attitude, or Iso's the one who ends up packing his bags. As for what happens next, people are already whispering about possible trades, but the Grizzlies GM has already been through this kind of chaos before. When the drama hit last season, a local reporter reached out to GM Zach Kleeman for comment on all the noise surrounding Ja, and the answer said a lot. Here's what the GM had to say, and he didn't hold back. I can't blame other executives for fantasizing about us trading Ja, but that's all it is, a fantasy. We're not trading Ja. We believe in our team, our city, and we'll let our performance on the floor speak for itself. I'm not giving this nonsense any more oxygen. Looking forward to getting back to basketball. Bold words, right? Let our performance speak for itself. Except that performance hasn't exactly been saying much lately. Since that statement, a lot has changed, and not for the better. First, the team traded Desmond Bane, which shocked everyone and weakened their core. Then, when the offseason came around, they had the perfect chance to extend Ja's contract, but they didn't. Makes you wonder what's really going on behind closed doors. Here's the tricky part. Ja means way more to Memphis than just his stats. This is a small market team that's never had a player with this kind of star power before. He sells out arenas, moves a ton of shoes, and brings national spotlight to the city. His popularity keeps the brand alive, and Ja knows it. That's part of the problem. But here's the question hanging over everything. What happens when that spotlight starts to fade? If his game keeps dipping and the drama keeps piling up, how long can the Grizzlies keep being held hostage by the version of Ja Morant he used to be? The one everyone once thought would be the future face of the league. So now the whole league's watching Memphis like it's a ticking time bomb. Every game, every press conference, every offhand comment, it's all being dissected. And the truth is, the tension between Ja Morant and Coach ISO isn't just some locker room disagreement anymore. It's starting to shape the entire future of the franchise. Sources close to the team are saying the energy in practice has gotten ugly. Teammates are reportedly choosing sides, some rolling with Ja, others backing Iso's no-nonsense approach. One insider even said, "You can feel the divide in the gym. It's like everyone's walking on eggshells." That's not the kind of environment that wins championships. Meanwhile, the front office is playing it cool, at least on the surface. But don't get it twisted. They're keeping tabs on everything. Word around the league is that a few teams have already reached out quietly, just to see if Memphis would maybe consider taking calls on Ja. And while the GM's gone on record saying Ja's untouchable, everyone knows that in this business, untouchable can change real fast once the losses pile up. Even Ja's inner circle is starting to sound nervous. People close to him are reportedly urging him to chill out, refocus, and repair his image before things go too far. But knowing Ja, that's easier said than done. When he feels cornered, he fights back, hard. And if he keeps clashing with ISO, it's only a matter of time before someone in Memphis has to make the ultimate decision. Keep the rising star coach or keep the fading superstar. Because one thing's clear, both of them can't survive this storm together. And now, things are heating up even more in Memphis. Just when people thought the situation couldn't get worse, Ja Morant dropped a post on social media that had everyone talking. No names, no tags, just a black screen with the caption, "Fake love everywhere." That one post lit the internet on fire. Fans started decoding it instantly. Was he talking about the coach, his teammates, the front office? Nobody knows for sure, but everyone's got an opinion. Right after that, Coach Iso was asked about the post during a press conference, and his response only added fuel to the fire. He said calmly, "I coach whoever shows up ready to work. If you're not all in, you'll sit." That's a direct shot. No doubt about it. You could practically feel the tension through the cameras. The media is already calling it the Cold War in Memphis. Inside the locker room, players are reportedly over it. Some of them are tired of the drama overshadowing the season. One veteran even said privately, "We're supposed to be chasing wins, not likes." Oof! That says it all. The vibe is crumbling, and the unity that once made the Grizzlies dangerous is starting to vanish. And the timing couldn't be worse. With trade rumors swirling and the team slipping in the standings, every move Ja makes now feels like it's being judged under a microscope. It's not just about basketball anymore. It's about pride, image, and power. The whole league's waiting to see which breaks first. The coach's patience, the locker room chemistry, or Ja Morant's reputation. Because right now, this story's got way more eyes on it than any game he's played this season. And just when everyone thought this drama had peaked, a new twist dropped, and it's wild. Reports are coming out that Ja Morant skipped a recent team film session, claiming he was dealing with personal matters. But insiders say that's not the full story. Apparently, the team had specifically called that meeting to review the defensive breakdowns from their last loss, the same game where Ja got benched late in the fourth. Coincidence? Doesn't sound like it. Coach Iso didn't hide his frustration either. When reporters asked about Ja's absence, he said, "We all have responsibilities. Being a pro means showing up." Boom, another subtle jab, but everyone knew exactly who he was talking about. And according to sources inside the team, Iso's patience is wearing thin. He's known for turning losing teams into disciplined winners, but he's never dealt with a superstar who challenges his authority this openly. Meanwhile, people close to Ja say he's feeling isolated and misunderstood. He thinks Iso's trying to embarrass him in front of the team, and honestly, the tension between them is turning toxic fast. Even the younger players are confused. Some are scared to take sides, while others are just trying to stay out of the crossfire. Behind the scenes, the front office is meeting daily, weighing their options. Do they back the coach and risk losing their biggest star? Or do they keep protecting Ja and risk destroying the team culture Iso's trying to build? The decision could define the next 5 years for the franchise. One wrong move, and the Memphis Grizzlies might go from playoff contenders to full-blown chaos overnight. And now the tension in Memphis has officially hit a breaking point. After missing that film session, Ja Morant showed up to the next practice, late, distant, and clearly not in sync with the rest of the squad. Witnesses say he barely spoke to anyone and spent most of the time on the far end of the court, shooting by himself while the rest of the team ran drills. That's not just awkward, it's a statement. Coach Iso noticed, of course, and things reportedly got heated fast. According to a source inside the gym, Iso stopped the entire practice and shouted, "If you don't want to be coached, there's the door." The whole gym went silent. Everyone froze, waiting to see what Ja would do. And instead of backing down, Ja allegedly stared him down and said quietly, "I'm not going anywhere." The tension was so thick you could feel it. By the end of practice, teammates were whispering about what they'd just witnessed. Some called it leadership, others called it ego, but either way, the divide just got deeper. Later that night, Ja posted another cryptic message online. "Loyalty isn't loud." Fans went wild, reading it as another shot at the coach or maybe even the front office. Meanwhile, around the league, executives are circling like sharks. Teams smell opportunity and trade chatter is starting to heat up again. One exec reportedly said, "Memphis won't admit it publicly, but they're at a crossroads." And that's exactly what it feels like. The future of the franchise is hanging in the balance because right now, it's clear this isn't just a slump or a disagreement. This is a power struggle that could change everything for the Grizzlies. So now you really gotta ask, did the GM mean it when he said Ja wasn't getting traded, or has that promise already started to crack? Because when a superstar pushes back this hard, especially in public, history tells us one thing: somebody's gotta go. The question is who? Will the front office ride with Coach Iso and his tough, no-nonsense style, or are they gonna cave and protect their star player? Either way, it feels like something big is coming. And honestly, the whispers around the league are getting louder. People are saying Memphis might finally be open to listening if the right offer comes through. The front office is trying to keep things quiet, but everyone knows that when your locker room's this tense, you can only ignore it for so long before someone hits the trade button. Now, if it really comes down to moving Ja, only a few teams are bold or desperate enough to take that swing. I'm talking about the Kings, the Suns, the Raptors, and maybe even the Timberwolves. Those squads are hungry for star power and might be willing to roll the dice. Ja's trade value is at an all-time low right now, but sometimes those buy low moves turn into pure gold. Just look at how fast stories can flip in this league. And hey, if you want to see exactly how those trades could go down, I've already cooked up some wild scenarios with the Kings and Suns that could actually make sense. You don't want to miss that next breakdown. So make sure you hit that subscribe, drop a like, leave a comment, and tell me what you think about Ja's future in Memphis. I'll catch you in the next video because this saga is far from over.